So it was really fun reading your guesses about who you think takes the number one slot last week. I think that this week should be a little bit easier to guess, so pause the video right now and let me know who you think is going to top this list. But hello there, my name is Waffles the Asian Yenber and I'm doing a top 10 video for every single type in Dokkan for the end of 2020. So far we've covered Super Tech, Super Int, Super Fizz, as well as Extreme Tech and Extreme Int, which you can check in the playlist down below. And for these, I look at all LRs and Dokkan Fest exclusives, but to save my brain, I limit the other units to only ones who were released or got some sort of awakening in 2020. And of course, I consider a variety of factors when making these top 10s, from overall utility, their stats, their effectiveness at their design role, how well they function in endgame content like Super Battle Road and the Legendary Goku event and Infinite Dragon Ball history, and I've also considered how much their weaknesses limit them and their accessibility to players. And as always, you are absolutely welcome to disagree with me in the comments down below, but we just need to keep it civil. So, starting with number 10, we've got the new Mira. His stats leave a little something to be desired, but he does stack attack and defense for long-form content, and while he will transform in the longer fights and he'll lose the ability to stack defense, thankfully his transformation condition is 60% or less HP, so you should have some time to build up his defense to decent levels. Then, once he transforms, he's going to get decent attack and continue stacking on top of that. He's not great for Super Battle Road and his links are not ideal, but he's still usable and pretty decent for long-form content. Moving on to number 9, we have EZA Broly. He stacks attack, defense, and even crit chance. He double supers, which does help his stacking, but each super does only raise his crit chance by 2%, so it takes 10 turns for him to be fully built up there. While he starts a little bit weak and that makes Super Battle Road a bit worse for him, he should be doing well in long-form content. And number 8 is actually a free-to-play unit I heavily underestimated until looking into them. Androids 14 and 15 are really good when paired with the Dokkan Fest Android 13. As long as they're on a rotation with AGL Android 13 once before he transforms, they give you the ability to foresee super attacks for the rest of the match, which is extremely valuable information. Then, once he transforms into Fusion Android 13, these guys get a 30% damage reduction and 30% attack and defense support for all allies on their rotation. On top of that, they also debuff attack in their super for Super Battle Road, and while their stats are low due to them being free to play, they more than make up for it with their utility. Unfortunately, they do require a specific unit to be good, but if you have AGL 13, I do think it's worth running these guys with him. Number 7 is a unit that has great potential but really isn't consistent. LR Broly Trio can nuke, they can give attack, or they can give defensive support, they can get guaranteed dodge, but the problem is that it heavily depends on which type of orbs you give them and how many. On top of that, they only have 2 categories and really strange links. Fun fact, because of their link set, Int Vados shares the most links with them, although you definitely shouldn't be running them together. The reason why they make number 7 is that even with their nuking passive, their attack is usually somewhere between decent and very good. AoE Broly actually makes number 6, which makes him the 3rd Broly unit on this list. AoE Broly doesn't have the best defense or the best utility, but he is quite consistent and extremely splashable on a lot of teams as a good floater. In his first form, he's got an attack all super attack, but more importantly, he gives himself 6 keys, so even if he's floating and not linking too well, which is honestly unlikely because he's got a pretty standard Saiyan link set, he's still guaranteed to super attack. Then, when he transforms, he gets a 50% chance to do an additional super attack, along with now giving himself 8 ki. He's got good damage, good links, and many teams where he can make a home, which I think makes him a little bit better than the other units we've talked about so far. EZA Majin Buu is my number 5 pick. He's an old unit, so he's quite accessible. He does need to be hit a couple times, but once he does, he's hitting pretty respectable numbers and tanking decently well. While he does have the good Buu links, and those are not preferable on the Majin Power team, they aren't necessarily bad. He's also consistent and better than AoE Broly for long-form content since he tanks well. Dragon Ball Heroes Cumber lands at number 4 because of the sheer utility he provides for Super Battle Road. This guy has a 40% chance to stun all super class enemies whenever he gets hit. On top of that, he greatly debuffs enemy attack and defense on his super. Unfortunately, his offense leaves a little something to be desired, but I think that he makes up for it as that AoE stun is just such a powerful tool. Now we've gotten into what I consider to be the best Extreme Fizz units. These next 3 are on another level. Number 3 is LR androids 16, 17, and 18. They debuff and they give good support while doing excellent damage in their base form. Then, once they switch into Android 16, you basically get LR Jiren with a 50% chance to crit. While it does only last 3 turns, their base form is still quite good. They fit perfectly on the androids team and they really do a lot for it. Number 2 is LR Bootanks. If Tech Exchange Boo brought the Majin Buu units back to life, LR Bootanks helped them ascend. LR Bootanks has that great attack and defense stacking for long form content and a guaranteed seal when he transforms for Super Battle Road, and while he gives himself extra ki when picking up type orbs, getting the 18 ki is not quite consistent, at least until you grind his link levels. At link level 10 that ceases to be an issue and he gets quite a good attack boost. His stats are excellent and he's good in both short and long content, although he is certainly better for longer events. But number 1 is a unit that is not only viable in most modes, but extremely good in them. Kibito Kai walked, so this transforming Angel Golden Frieza could run. Right at the beginning of the match, you have the option to transform and you can choose to do so at any time. There is no restriction. But both forms have their own plus sides that make you choose between them. In his base form, Frieza stacks defense and seals super attacks. He also debuffs the attacked enemy while still having pretty good stats, especially once he takes a hit because, as like Beerus, his bonuses are calculated separately after he gets hit. However, if you do decide to go golden, you get a 70% stun chance instead and 50% damage reduction when you get under 50% HP, on top of already having great attack and defense. He's got great links, good categories, and he's just an absolutely incredible unit all around. I think without a doubt that he is currently the best extreme physical unit in the game. Now, did you guess that one? Let me know. And if the unit you picked didn't make it to this list, check back on Sunday when we tier all 2020 Extreme Fizz units. After today, we're officially back on schedule, and if you like this video, I recommend taking a look at the other top 10s I've done so far in the playlist on your screen. Now, make sure to subscribe or you're gonna find my spirit haunting your house for the rest of eternity. Have a great day, a good week, a good life, and happy summons. Goodbye.